I'm accelerating that. Just so anybody that's wondering.
Yeah. Here's the problem. We're all working to get there faster. We're basically like going as fast as we can towards our own extinction.
Yes.
It's
story
weird.
of my life.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. So we're going to talk AI. We're going to talk a little about your schedule. We're going to talk about priorities. We're going to talk a lot of things.
Shit.
So there we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start off with AI. What's working? What's not working right now?
Okay. So GPT sucks. It is just terrible.
And I heard myself say last week, ChatGPT sucks. And then I had this like existential moment where I'm like
you left your body?
The greatest thing ever that does this amazing myriad of things we couldn't even imagine 5 years ago. And here we are. We're like, GPT sucks. These guys are terrible. This thing that can literally do things we couldn't even imagine 5 years ago. And anyway, it cracked me up. I agree. It's terrible compared to like Claude and some of the other things now, which are amazing. It's just the irony of us saying that ChatGPT sucks is wild.
The Louis C.K. thing where, you get...
flying through the...
Yeah. It's like, wow, we're like at 30,000 feet and it's a miracle. I'm crossing the Atlantic Ocean and this Wi-Fi sucks.
This Wi-Fi's bumpy. This is a bunch of bull. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yes, it's that. Just orders of magnitude.
Yes.
So yes, for whatever reason, GPT was deteriorating.
Yeah, it's got real bad right now.
And so I actually went back to the free mode.
Yep.
And it's like, it's a glorified Google.
Yeah, it really is glorified. And man, the fact that they're starting to run ads, I'm like, what are we doing?
Sign.
That's terrible. When you start running ads, I'm like, ooh, what are we doing?
Yeah, the Ponzi scheme is about to evaporate.
It feels like, somebody got in the kitchen and it's like, not good. Yes. I don't like this at all.
So I do love AI and I cannot wait I was just telling Austin, so it's like, what I really want is C-3PO. I want like a British butler robot that is just high strung and neurotic that follows me around.
Just follows, that
I can have conversations with.
Yes, I can't wait till we have like the Alexa of Claude or whatever it is, like sits around and is able to have better conversations to just be there in person.
So speaking
with
of
you
that,
at all times. Okay, here we go. It's already here.
Yes. So over the weekend, my new project is, speaking of schedules, my new project, because I don't know what to do when things are good. So I immediately need something to just absolutely obsess on.
You're like a firefighter. Shoot, there are no fires. So like, you just like sneak around the corner and light something on fire. Like, oh guys, we got a fire to put out. And then all of a sudden like half the force is down. You're like, bigger than I thought. But my bad.
Whoops.
My bad. Yeah.
Yes. So having said that, which I totally agree, my weekend project is... It was originally called ClaudeBot, then it was called Moltbook, I think, and then now because then Claude sued them, and they had to change it once, and now it's called OpenClaw.
OpenClaw.
So it is, and I'm probably butchering this and paraphrasing, but it is. My dream would be, it's like, I don't know about you, but I went so fast from texting is awesome to talk to text.
Yes.
And now Siri is equally as shitty as GPT.
Oh, Siri is
terrible. And
haven't they shut that down? Like, is that still a thing?
I don't know, but it's like it picks up. Like my iPad will hear me say something.
Yeah. My trucker once in a while was like, I can't find that right now. I'm like, why are you here? Like, and that's Alexa, I think. Anyway, I'm just like, why are you in my truck? How do you go away?
Alexa also seems to be very finicky.
Yeah,
because it's like I have it do my. So I'm on the elliptical.
Yes.
It's like I control everything with Alexa upstairs. And it's like, Alexa, 15-minute timer. It's searching YouTube for a 15-minute timer. And I'm like, what?
What is happening? Yes. Yeah.
I digress.
Okay, so what does OpenClaw do?
So OpenClaw, so I got a new Mac Mini, so it's sitting in home in the box.
We are never going to find out what OpenClaw actually does.
Here we go.
This is the longest sales pitch I've ever been a part of.
It's not a sales pitch because the reason that
before we get there, make sure to like and subscribe.
Yes.
And also, if you
for more incoherent ramblings.
Yes, exactly.
So OpenClaw is Claude, but integrated to where it actually runs the machine. Because on the Mac OS, you can give it permissions that kind of freak me out. So that's why now I have a separate Mac.
So this is different from having Claude on your Mac.
And it's different than having the Claude app because you'd have it in the browser and that's fine, whatever. You have the Claude app that actually interfaces. And then Claude with OpenClaw combined, it's like, ironically, I have Claude giving me the exact step-by-step instructions to then create the sandbox, meaning that I'm putting the Claude and Claw bot on the machine by itself. So it won't be connected to my network. It'll be connected to the internet, but nothing else.
Right.
Because right now, it literally is.
Until it changes its mind and just takes over everything. All of a sudden, it's like making toast, and you're like, "What's happening?"
Oh shit! What was it? It was probably like 5 minutes before you were born. But there was this like Nutrisystems or NutriFit or something that was like, it was everywhere. It was like a multi-level marketing. It was amphetamine in like a fruit drink, and like it was like they were like, "Holy shit! I lost like 70 pounds and I had a heart attack." But like
tapeworms are amazing. Right. How do we get them out?
But like so
what does it do?
It literally.
What does it do? I'm dying. You're killing me. Okay.
So it will literally run everything that you give it permission. And then through WhatsApp.
I still don't know what it does. What is it? What do you mean?
So it replaces you at the computer. So I then tie it into WhatsApp and I say, send Wayne a calendar invitation for 7 years from Thursday. Boom! The machine at home in my home office on the desk does that.
So it has access to whatever you want to give access.
Yes.
So it is acting as like an agent. It's acting it's acting as your assistant.
Yeah, it is full agentic AI.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, but however, it's like 5 minutes old, so it is just like, I'm sure it is like Swiss cheese. It's like, here, put this up.
Yeah, and you keep hearing stories of people are like, oh yeah, it bought a $5,000 marketing program last week.
Right.
Like, oops, and like, oh yeah, it's amazing. I love that. I'm gonna go. I love Notebook LM. I still love that for creating PowerPoints and stuff. It's still really cool for graphics.
I'm a fan of Gamma.
I probably need to move to Gamma. I probably need to.
Now,
move
are
to
you
Gamma.
running it? Is Notebook its own standalone? Is it an app?
I think it's somehow attached to Gemini or something.
Okay,
I can't remember.
Gamma is in a browser.
Yeah.
Versus like, because I love, like I said, I went from hating any kind of voice activated thing because they were shitty. To now, I'm like, oh my God, could we please get this to recognize? Yeah.
So here's the challenge, because I think the challenge is like, it was prompting for a while that you had to get really good at. Now we're kind of beyond that. It's pretty good at knowing what to do, right? In a sense, you need to be okay at prompting, but we don't have to be as good at prompting as we were, right? So it was prompting. Then it was using, and I think the season we're in right now is kind of like processes. Like, how do I get AI to do multiple things in a sense? And then we're getting into what you're talking about, which is really agents. And agents are able to go do things, and agents are able to talk to other agents, which is really interesting. So I think that's the thing that people need to get great at. Here's the challenge. Like, how much time do you need to spend in each of these iterations? Because as soon as we get good at something, it's almost like it solves itself. And then like that skill we developed, we don't really need anymore. Well, but at the same time, you need the skill.
Yes.
So like agents right now, how much time should they spend on knowing how to create these process workflows? And I don't necessarily know if there's a perfect answer. I think you need to understand it. And I think you can probably hire someone to do some of it, but you need to have a good grasp on what's happening.
Yes. And like there's a certain element of snake oil in all of it, because if you really want to see what the snake oil du jour is, hang out in the real estate world, because it's no different than social media.
Yes.
Where you have, and like for me, I freely admit I transferred alcoholism to workaholism. Yep. It's a tale as old as time, but I'm also a tech nerd where, going back to Internet 1.0, it was like I was put into a situation where 98, 99 into 2000, Y2K, I was in sales at CompUSA Corporate downtown. And so it was literally doing nerdy shit all day long. And I was like, man, I like this. And then that morphed into building computers and all that stuff just as a thing. Yeah. Just as a outlet for my control freak mechanism. So there's that element where I was already wired to like that stuff. Right. My ex-wives would tell you like, oh, it was like being married to a robot. Yeah. So it's like but
you'll be able to do it pretty soon.
One can only so this ties into your thing about awareness. Yeah. Where it's like, are you self-aware? It's like, again, you would hate this as much as I would. I'm not techie. Oh, I'm not techie.
And I just think you just don't have a choice. If you're truly not techie, you probably need to move, right, to some country that doesn't have the internet yet. I don't know. Here's the thing I think is interesting though. Like in the next 3 to 5 years, like I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we'll have jobs 5 years from now. Like it's gonna be very interesting. I think unemployment could. There's lots of terrible things that could happen. Yet I think for us right now, we have to realize that all we have left in a lot of ways is trust in the relationship. Like
Yes.
that's the thing. That's the only thing. Like being really, really skilled at something isn't. It's going to become less and less and less valuable,
Yes.
right? Like it just is. And I think that one of the things that we have left though is the relationship and trust. So I think for agents, especially and business owners, here would be the thing we're working on. The thing that I believe is really true right now is use AI and systems, all this other stuff to do everything outside of outside of the
Yes.
relationship, right? But double down on the relationship. Double down on if there's an opportunity to get on the phone with them, get on the phone with them. There's an opportunity to meet in person, get in person. If there's an
Correct.
opportunity to tweak the template email to make it more personal, do that. Like, because I think I think most people they're trying to get so effective and efficient that they're going to remove the one thing we have left, which is the relationship,
Yeah,
which
it's
is the
going to be
personalization.
Wall-E, where it's like, oh, I'm
Yes.
just this
Yeah.
blob sitting in a floating
Yes.
chair.
Yeah.
The AI, and it's the supreme irony of all of this, for me at least, predictive wise, is it is going to go full circle in that everything that everybody is either dreaming of or afraid of AI replacing, or like AI is just going to do my job and I'll just cash checks. It's like, no, actually, that's not going to happen.
No.
And more than likely, it's going to come full circle and be back to hyper local,
Yep.
relationship based, and it's who you know, and all of the things that any self-respecting Luddite would be
Yeah.
down for.
Yep.
But it will be made unique and special because everything everywhere is robots.
Yep.
And it's funny because, again, I don't know, you've dealt with way more folks that were in business that had to realize, like, well, how are you wired? Are you wired to learn new stuff?
Yeah.
You know, because the neuroplasticity or whatever that is
Yeah.
maintained by learning new stuff. Like, I'm super excited to go home and go down a rabbit hole because now I have this where I'm like, okay, the JavaScript thing isn't working. What or next? Or okay, that shit the bed, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm able to do that where, you know, say 20 years ago, I'd have to go and, oh my God, I took 10 trips to Fry's or whatever, or Micro Center and try to figure shit out, which that was its own sort of like caveman quest
Yes.
kind of thing that was cool. But like on the third trip, I'm pissed. You know, like now I'm,
For sure. Where do you think the opportunity is? Because here's what's two things are interesting to me. One is I do think unemployment could skyrocket in the next 3 to 5 years, through the roof. So I think that's something that'll be interesting to watch. But my question is, where's the opportunity? So it's always surprising to me. We get all this new technology, but most people don't make more money or get more efficient, which is
Right.
funny, right? Like we thought email would would be everything, right? And then we got like,
well,
oh,
it was
I'll
for
be,
like 5 minutes.
I'll be able to do everything now. You know,
and then the
you
marketing
saw
department,
some of that, right?
And
So
the marketing department got it.
yeah, exactly. The marketing department messes up everything.
Yes.
But it didn't really make us all that much. No, people aren't making just way more money now than they were 20 years ago when
No.
we were hand delivering things.
Nope.
Right? Isn't that weird?
Yes.
Right. But like, so where do you think the opportunity is for most people, especially real estate agents or those with teams in the next, 24 months, 12 months?
So part of that is, and I don't know if it's just human nature, but it's certainly for as long as I've been in and around the real estate world, everybody's looking for the next hack.
Yes.
And there just isn't one.
Yeah.
It's like, as a huge fan of instant gratification and, the subsequent hell ride that addiction becomes, there isn't one. There is no way to actually cut in line. And, it's funny because like this is 113 weeks
Yeah.
that we've done something
Yeah.
every week. And it's like, I look at that and I'm like, holy shit. But it's also an element of, wow, it doesn't even feel like we've done it for a month.
Yeah.
So the consistency of whatever it is that you're good at and whatever it is that doesn't feel like pulling teeth,
Yeah.
lean into that.
Yes.
Because there's always that thing of, oh, I'm not good at math, so I'm going to get a math tutor. Why don't you find something that doesn't require math?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why don't you figure out?
Double down on your genius,
Yeah.
what lights you up, what you're, I think that's great. And the other thing I heard you say, the brilliant nugget of wisdom that I'll give you credit for is like, you don't get to cut the line, but don't get out of line.
Oh, I
right,
like, yes.
right. It's like that's kind of what I heard you say. Like there's no like I get to skip the line all of a sudden I just went and whatever. But also like don't get out of line. And I think that what you and I see some people is they're getting out of line, which is like, oh, I'm just not techie, or
Yep.
I'm just not whatever, or or I don't need to learn that. I'll just pay somebody, but I don't need to understand it. Like I think you do need to understand it. I think you
Yes.
need to have a grasp on it. I think you do need to keep developing. Like for me, going from GPT to Claude is like, oh, am I really going to teach a new robot me? Like I literally wrestled with that and I was like, but if I don't make that, for me, staying here is getting out of line.
Yes.
Right. And it's like, okay, the line is going to keep moving. I'm going to step to the side. That's not cool. So, man, it's tough. I keep evolving.
Well, and the other thing is that most people are afraid of change. And then, you would have a better handle on why is it that people just knee jerk and say, I'm not techie. Like, okay, what does that absolve you of? It's like, oh, okay, everybody turn your shit off. We're going old school. It's like,
I think that it helps us be okay with ourselves. If it's a default, then I don't have to take responsibility for it. I'm just not good at, how many times you hear somebody say, I'm just not a morning person?
Yeah.
As an excuse to like not go to bed on time, set an alarm and get up on
Right.
time. You know what I mean? But it's like so many of these things. And I love this distinction. This distinction is so powerful. Is it a talent you were born with or a skill that you need to develop? For most people, they treat things like their talents. They just were not inherently
Yes.
given. When the reality is almost everything is a skill you need to
99%.
develop. Being a morning person for most people is a skill. When they were in grade school, guess what? They went to school on time.
right.
Right, like they may have developed this really bad habit, but it's not inherently who they are, right? And people go, I'm not techie. It's like, can you read? They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, then you can be techie. If you can read, we can figure something out.
And the beauty of like
Yeah.
what you were saying earlier about how this is kind of like wiping out, the AI thing is wiping out a certain level, a certain strata of intellectual labor.
Yeah.
Where, okay, so like I have the private portal for one of the brokerages and everything. I literally created that talk to text.
Yeah,
And now here's the other thing that people don't understand. I already knew how to make a website, and I already knew how the ass beating that,
Sure.
that is like the code. I was not going to sit down and write HTML from
Right.
start to finish, but I could go into WordPress raw
You had an understanding of
and
it.
create. So it was
Yeah.
like I knew the mechanics of it,
yeah,
which exponentially increased what I could get out of it
Yes.
based on me just talking to it.
Yes.
And for me, that gives me goosebumps,
Yeah.
dude. I'm now finally, I don't have a flying car yet, but I'm now living in the future.
Yes.
Where I developed everything. And then I would say, okay, no, I said, so for example, on a Keller Williams thing, find the hex code and the fonts and everything, blah, 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 and incorporate that into it.
Yeah.
So I knew what the hex code is. That's the color,
Right.
on the brand kit, there's the,
Yeah,
it's EF10 whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I say, go look for that, find it, incorporate that, and then make it red on white with black accents or whatever.
Correct.
Boom, and it's doing it like that shit is
but you need to have a
magic.
basic understanding to be able to do
Yes,
it.
I had
Yeah.
to know. I had to know what to ask it or what to tell it.
Correct.
More importantly, what to tell
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And then it got to the level of, okay, how do I link this on a subdomain with my GoDaddy account on the domain name server so it pings back, blah, 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 but it's private and doesn't show on the, so like there, I knew more than enough to be dangerous
Right.
on web construction.
Yeah.
But the output of that was I would have had to pay somebody
Yeah.
$1,500
Yes.
to do that. And I did it in under an hour. And then I can send the mock-up to people at corporate, and they're like, dude, that's amazing. And then I'm like, okay, now backlink that. And so then I went apeshit with it. So I'm like, okay, now I want to design an app that is, because I'm always looking for, it's cliche to say, but the value add,
Yeah.
and it's like, I'm not somebody who is, I don't want to keep the stuff that we shot forever, that it
Right.
just sits in the thing and it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
we own the photos. That's a throwback to back when you actually know how to develop
Correct,
film,
yes.
which was a skill. It's no longer a skill. Or I guess technically it's a skill, but why would you be doing that? So I go in and I say, like, create me a portfolio app.
Yeah.
And then I say, our backend system currently is REO. What kind of API key do I
Yes.
need in order for you to access all the data, blah, 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 whatever. And then it gives me the checklist. But like there, I had to know what those pieces
Yeah.
and parts are.
Yeah.
But the upside of that is, and this is the thing where if you have even just a basic working knowledge of real estate and the transaction flow and the deal flow and all of that, literally sit down with the thing and talk to it out loud like you would an assistant or like the person you would want to do the thing.
Right.
And then you could iterate over and over and over and over again, and it gets exponentially faster.
Yes.
So right now I have a JavaScript mock-up of a portfolio where so Andrea Miller was the test case because she'd just come in, done interviews or whatever. And I said, search the backend. So I get the API. So basically the API key is so that Claude can talk to Ario, and I give it permission inside of our backend. It's the thing that got me onto the Clawbot thing where, but I say, go in there, search for Andrea Miller's content, and give me, and it's like, boom, within a nanosecond, it says, well, she's got 45 listings, historical, blah, blah, blah.
And here's the thing I think people need to understand too is like the expectations have changed. Right. And like that's another thing you're getting at. Like your expectations have changed to whatever it is, but also your clients' expectations are changed. Your clients expect you to be able to do things faster, better. Like the other day, kind of by accident, but I ordered, I was doing an Amazon order. And it was like, oh, do you want a couple other things? Right. So I was like, actually, my daughter wanted some fruits and vegetables, whatever it is. So I ended up ordering like 2 apples and 2 bananas. And like all of a sudden, like 2 hours later, 2 apples and 2 bananas are at my front door. And I'm like, which is a total like cost me of like $1.50.
Yes.
And I'm like, somebody like that's the scale at which they can produce things.
Yes.
And like that's crazy to me. So like our clients expect us to be able to get them flyers or get them things updated or at such speed. So you better AI all the stuff that like that on the back end so that you can sit down with the agent and have that conversation.
And so to that exact thing, the thing I'm building now with the AI is essentially lay out the framework or the company flow chart or whatever it would be, where then I can plug in a virtual human, like a virtual assistant that is an actual human, not a robot here, because there will be certain things that are like open house flyers or some sort of aesthetically involved thing where the robot isn't going to know.
Right.
And then if you come back and go like, oh yeah, but here, use this logo instead, put it up in the corner and make it, whatever. Well, if I can get everything along that done by the robot, and then the human is the one at the end that just does the finished product.
Yeah.
The same thing I did for the studio website.
Yes.
It was like, yes, I could have spent, 140 hours making it myself, but I paid somebody to do the heavy lifting, and then I came in and where all of the empty content piece, frames were.
Yeah.
I put the sprinkles on the donut.
Yes.
Where 8 years ago I wouldn't have felt manly or whatever if I hadn't done it all myself.
And same thing like when you're sitting down with the seller, like your AI, your bots or whatever is, as soon as you have a conversation with somebody, it should go out there, pull everything imaginable, bring it to you in a digestible way. But then like you said, the sprinkles are you taking all that, sitting down with your clients and explaining them what this means to them.
Yes.
So it's different than what it means to them or that, right? Whatever. So like that's, and the reality is like, that's all that's left, right? Is the relationship and that trust of, hey, I'm interpreting this for you.
Right.
Because I know you and care about you and you want to have this conversation. So I think that's where it's really, really at.
I was one of the earliest RPR instructors or whatever, 10 years ago or in North Texas. And I would go out and like me, the tech nerd or whatever, I was so stoked because even then there were just shitloads of data in this thing. And to their credit, NAR and RPR knocked it out of the park with what the stuff looked like when you printed out the PDFs.
Nice, yeah.
So, and there it becomes, again, relationship. If I meet you like, oh, it's husband and wife seller, whatever, and the husband is a numbers nerd. And he doesn't give a shit about like amenities or blah.
Correct. It's got to be real to that person.
Yeah, where it becomes, here is the handout that I'm printing for him, and it looks like the Department of Statistics or whatever.
Where somebody else was like 3 crayons and a white piece of paper. And it was like, prices were here, prices are here. What do you want to do?
Yes. The other is like the napkin at the restaurant.
Yes. Yeah,
the placemat.
Yes. Okay, so to land the AI plane.
Yes.
Any other AI tools you're using right now that business owners or whatever should be tapped into?
Gamma.
Gamma
like
for
this. This is the first thing now. I'm not looking at notebook, but
No, I think Gamma's better. Yeah.
This makes PowerPoint presentations that are.
I'm writing it down again because I keep forgetting this.
They're not perfect, and the other drawback is it's in a browser, not an app.
Yep.
Although in reality, sitting down at the computer is much easier to do it than try to do it on your phone. This thing will take and again give you iterations, and it's gotten better as it goes. But like this, I throw your logo in there.
Yep.
It makes the line art. It makes the photo
allows you to play
realistic.
around with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then fonts, etc. I set a brand kit, so I create
Yes.
a brand kit, which is your color scheme. I'm a sucker for I want Montserrat,
Yeah.
all caps, thin, because I don't need it to be in my face. I
Yeah.
don't need it to look like a comic book. I have plenty of comic books at home. I want it to be, because I learned back, in the days of early doing contracts, we write in all caps so nobody's confused.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
And so like, wait, is that an I or an L or is that a what? Or
Absolutely. All right. Any other tools you're using that are big?
So the Claude.
Absolutely.
I paid $200 a month for Claude.
$200 a month.
Yes.
And it's worth that to have it do
absolutely.
all the things.
Because it will do unbelievable project work. And it got me the, here, I got probably pulled it up. So what are you using while I
Right now, all I'm using, I'm using Notebook LM some, and using Claude for writing. Those are the two that we're using the most right now. I mean, yeah,
So
there's lots
this-
of other things, but those are the two that we're using.
Go Network,
Yep.
private portal, created completely talk to text, and then it literally bounces out to the private portal.
Yep.
And everything here is created completely me talking into the phone and watching it. And so like, here's a super,
That's amazing.
Here's a super nerd version. I will literally have it up on my desktop computer and I will talk to it via my phone and then hit refresh because I don't want to sit there and type.
That's awesome. All right.
Oh yeah, we didn't do this.
No,
but-
that's
yeah.
so good. So, no, I love that. If you have any, let us know. They're changing all the time, but yeah, I think
Yes.
those are great. Okay, so let's land the plane on this one.
Yes.
How did you look at your weeks and decide what you would do with some of your downtime?
So
If
it's
you
funny
had
that-
downtime, what would you
So
do?
I have now started to force myself because I wake up like I'm shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
Every morning, and usually somewhere between 5:15 and 5:40.
Yes.
In the morning, just naturally, no alarms, no nothing.
Yeah.
And I have now forced myself to lay there for at least like 15 minutes.
Okay.
And just fight the feeling of I'm just like a lazy
Yeah.
bastard doing nothing. So that's been getting easier.
Yes.
And then the other thing was trying to construct my days where there's a middle section.
Yes.
Where it wouldn't be crazy if I like took a power nap for
Yes,
20 minutes.
Exactly. Yes.
And so I've been trying to implement it in real time where like I'm actually doing something versus, like, okay, so my weekend's pretty wide open and I'm going to be going down the rabbit hole with creating I'm Skynet. I'm building Skynet.
Yeah.
And so other than that, I don't really know what I would do. But the other thing is I'm starting to really, really like what you said earlier. It's about the relationships and the people.
Yep.
And so like 4 times this past week, I went and had breakfast
Yeah.
with dudes in recovery,
Nice.
which is cool.
Yeah.
And not that I would have ever considered myself the wise old owl
Right.
in that,
You are.
in that regard, but it's like, there is something to be said for 21 years of sobriety.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And it's cool to be able to, like yesterday, sit with one of my guys and had a liver transplant, like went hard in the paint. And still there's that element of, I don't know, dude,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, ask your borrowed liver what,
Right, yeah,
what it
yeah,
thinks
yeah.
about, but just to be able to carve out, whatever, an hour,
Yeah.
90 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever for that. And I come out like supercharged,
Yeah,
and there's also an element
I
of,
was like, find a way to feed your soul. And it goes back to that whole Tony Robbins thing where like, I think a lot of these people wait. It's like, hey, when I'm successful, I will. Like, hey,
Yeah.
when I have lots of money, I will do this. When I have when I get my business launched or sold, then I'll. And I love what you're doing. It's like, do what you can with what you have.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If that means you can do, hey, you're really busy, you can do one 15-minute Zoom call, but like it brings you joy and it helps you, or is it 2 breakfasts? So find what you can do now along the way instead of waiting until, this magical moment.
this is not rehearsal.
Right.
You know, this is it.
Yeah.
This is
This-
this is all there's going to
Yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah.
You know, and this is the youngest you're ever going to be from now
This
on.
is the youngest you'll ever be.
You know?
Absolutely. That's it.
You know?
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Land the plane. What do you got? What's your words of wisdom?
Man, I'm brought back to the idea of it's the people.
Yep.
It's the people in your life. And so like even yesterday where the past couple of days I'm at the Real Producers events or whatever. And I love seeing Ashley in that world.
So great.
And it's like, but it's like so loud and so chaotic. And we just have like this shorthand where, you know, I'll be like, this is great. This is great.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because it's like, we're both, oh my God, get us, you know, but it's nothing but chaos. But it's like being able to not only thrive in the chaos, which was, you know, that was a codependent and a survival skill. But now being able to survive in the chaos with friends
Yep.
and to be look at this and go like, wow, this is a
So great.
a total, you know, train wreck fire drill.
Yeah.
But it's awesome.
It's awesome.
You
It's
know?
awesome. Yeah.
And April, I'm going to carve out,
Yep. There we go. Yep.
get in the hot seat.
That's it. It's gonna be great.
How about you? What's up?
Man, next week we've got E4, E5, which is, I cannot wait. Everybody's flying in from all over the place, which is awesome. Then we have Sphere Rocket for a couple of days, talking about getting together, masterminding our virtual assistants, how we're tapping into that, how they're doing skills, all the different things. So we're having 2 days of Sphere Rocket
where is
training, etc.
that?
It's at their brand new headquarters, which is nice. So it's here. So they moved to
Yes, I
Dallas,
knew-
which is awesome. So it's there for 2 days, which will be amazing. So I'll be there, participate, and do a little speaking, be involved in that. So that'll be amazing.
Interesting.
There we go.
Hopefully, my calendar's a disaster.
Yeah. You don't get to skip the line, but don't get out of line.
Love it.
Words of wisdom.
Bam.
Could be fired up.
Yes.